Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Thea 2 The Shattering. So I was looking at the gods we've unlocked. It seems like mostly people want to see Triglav, so we're going to play as Triglav. But I noticed something. I assumed that we unlocked 2 gods that have 3 domains each, and because there are 6 domains, I just kind of assumed that there would be total coverage between the 2 of them. But there actually isn't. They double up on the nature domain, and neither one of them has the harmony domain. And we've never played as a god who has the harmony domain. All of the harmony gods are still locked. So, we're going to play this game as Triglav. We're going to focus on more red challenges and the turmoil domain. We're just going to be like a clan of powerful warriors, and we're going to see how that affects character development, how that affects the overall quest. I'm sure the main quest basically hits the same plot points no matter what, but I'm curious how the text will change with Triglav as our god instead of Maravit. But next game, I want to play as a harmony god, and I think maybe we want to do Strybog, because Strybog starts your characters with a raft and gives you extra movement points when traveling on water, and maybe this might be a good game to try settling on a different island than the first one, or maybe even not settling at all. Like, this is a good game to go nomad. I don't know, we'll see. We might go nomad with Triglav? I'm not sure. I don't really have a plan. So, he's all about scorching lava and fighting people, basically. I do not know who raised me from the darkness. I do not know why our hearts melt with anger, but I am ready to stand and fight against any who will dare to oppose us. He's very much about wrath. He loves wrath. So, I was playing around with the cards a little bit. You can see I spent all of our god points. I got us some new stuff. I bought the Orc Child card and the Dwarf Child card, because one thing that I really do want to get into is the other races. I want to figure out what cool classes are available to the other races. Then I was looking at if I wanted to run both of those children, and I totally do. I was looking at what that leaves us with point-wise, because the Dwarf Child is 3 of our starting points. I assume that a dwarf is just like incredibly powerful. The Orc Child is only 1 for some reason. So if we do this, if we start with the Orc Child and the Dwarf Child, we end up with only a single point to spend for additional characters, which means like we get either a scoundrel or like some children. And I could have spent some points to unlock the ability to start with a rat or a giant spider instead of a 4-legged friend. This is just like some kind of animal pet, it seems like. I don't know, maybe that would have been the right thing to do. A giant spider might be capable of holding down the fort while our children develop. But I think let's give this a try. We're going to try Scoundrel and 2 children. If it doesn't work, I suspect we'll know that it's not going to work pretty quickly. And then we'll come back here, replace the Scoundrel with like, or replace the Orc Child with a warrior. We'll make that warrior our chosen, and he can lead us into the path of battle. But yeah, let's give it a try this way first. I don't think this is going to work, but we should try it. So who do we want the chosen to be? The Scoundrel or one of the fighter types? I mean, I'm assuming, as we saw with the Goblin, that the first child of each race is going to grow up into like a very basic class. Probably, I'm guessing, Gatherer or Craftsman. And then once you have an adult of a faction, then of a race, then you can grow children of that race into that race's special classes. Or if you're, allied with the appropriate villages or whatever. So, I'm thinking that the Orc and the Dwarf will probably both be kind of not... They won't really be fighters, and that's sort of what we want from our chosen, but I am kind of curious about making the Dwarf... seeing what the Dwarf turns into, because that Dwarf card costs an awful lot of points. So yeah, I guess let's make the Dwarf the chosen. And do we want... It seems to me like being female is just better in this game. I'm thinking female characters have a way around the Rusalka song. There don't seem to be any positive options for being male or negative options for being female. Granted, the number of positive options there are for being female are pretty slim as well. Although it seems like there's no male equivalent to witch. So it seems like the balance in the game currently is that female is just better than male, although we don't know dwarves can become witches anyway. And even if they could, we wouldn't want this character to be one necessarily. Yeah, but for right now, it seems... I guess... Let's see. We don't actually know with dwarves and orcs and stuff. We don't know if there are classes that are locked off by gender like that. Let's try a a dwarf chosen. We'll see if they can grow into anything interesting, and if we get that far before we lose on this run, we'll go back and try a female dwarf chosen and see if the female dwarf chosen has any different options. I don't know, we're kind of going out into the dark here a little bit. Okay, so we're playing on the exact same difficulty we were playing on before. One thing that I think should be noted is that last time we got very lucky with the positioning of the Lightbringers. Right, we didn't have to fight any Lightbringer nonsense at all. Obviously, we can skip a lot of the story in these early quests. Yeah, we didn't have to deal with any Lightbringer nonsense at all. We cannot rely on that occurring a second time. So what have we gotten to start with? Our four-legged friend was a horse. Wow, that's a high-level horse, though. Or maybe it was this boar. I don't know. We have two animals. We have a basic gathering tool, which we'll give to you. Sorry, our orcish child is named Death Lover? Who named this little girl Death Lover? I think it seems a little too early to me to know whether or not she loves death. Okay, what do we have? We have a wand. What do our stats look like? Wow, the orc child starts with 4.4 strength? That's more than the full-grown scavenger has. Okay, you get the sword. It's kind of a heavy sword. Yeah, you can use it, though. And then, pretty low everything else. We should actually look at their skills and effects, too. So, 38 turns until they grow up. This character is an orc. They're a warrior race that lives in a matriarchal clan structure. They're known for their strength, ferocity, and despise of one-handed weapons. You call that a weapon? Having a one-handed weapon equipped decreases all shielding types. That's interesting. And a 10% increase in strength. Okay, that seems fine. And what about dwarf? Being a dwarf gives you minus movement, plus health and carry limit, plus crafting, and no other unique stuff here. So, higher wisdom than usual. Okay, are either of these wisdom-based? Your mysticism is actually super low. This is always destiny-based. That's a shame. We don't have a weapon at all that is appropriate for the dwarf child. Oh, but one of Triglav's traits... Yeah, one of Triglav's traits is that there's an extra combat ability. So what does this do? Sacrifice a percentage of the caster's health and deal true damage equal to the amount of health lost multiplied by skill power. Okay. Huh, that's interesting. So, the dwarf child can participate in combat with that skill even if we don't have a weapon for him. That's good. And our scavenger did spawn with Strength of the Swarm, which is always great. This is a high wisdom person, but we don't really have any wisdom options. So Random Blast at least is functional in all challenge types, and then you can have this wand just so your hands aren't empty. And somebody gets the horse. Who gets the boar, actually? Whoever gets the boar, it should be... I guess it should be Adelaida, actually, because she doesn't have... I mean, Random Blast totally works in red challenges. I'm just thinking, whoever's least likely to be applicable to a red challenge should have the boar so that we can use them to play it instead of having them do other stuff. I suppose, honestly, maybe it makes the most sense for it to be the Chosen. Because we probably don't want to do that other thing too many times per combat if it's removing half of our health. Yeah. Would be cool if we had, like, any armor at all. Alright, let's get out here and look for a place that is worth settling. I think for this game, we're not going to try anything super fancy. We've been attacked by a snake. Okay. I can do better than total defeat against a single snake, probably. Yo, actually it hits pretty hard. Actually, it turns out this snake is not joking. Well... Death Lover can get out here and love some death at him. We play her into the corner, and then we can put the boar down there. I guess he's going to get played in all three of these spaces, probably. Oh, I'm being dumb. I should have dropped you first. I totally forgot about Strength of the Swarm. I just wasn't thinking when playing. So, how do we want to do this? Because obviously I'm going to play the boar into this position. To maybe play her again? The random blast isn't huge, but it'll certainly be a lot better once we have some more stuff on the table. And then it's like, what do we do with these other 2 points? Well, it's probably we play the chosen ability once and then play the boar with the 2 points. So this will do 8.4 true damage. It cost us some of our health. It's not a big deal. And then we play the boar. Ooh, I think we play the boar here. Now that they've stacked vertically like that. Alright, so one of these... There could have been one more damage coming out of the scavenger there. It's definitely a mistake on my part. The boar will absorb 2 attacks. And this should be... Yeah, this will be enough to kill the snake before the second round of combat. How did they get total defeat out of this situation? It's just terrible. I mean, they don't use the... We know that they don't use the summons at all, right? Okay, so we see Monster Bone. Monster Bone is encouraging. We're looking for combustibles. I mean, if we found a place that was good that didn't have anything to burn, we could just build a lumber mill. The lumber mill would not provide enough wood to keep us warm during the winter, unfortunately, and winter is coming immediately. So that's definitely a downside. How are we doing on... Are we recovered at all? Do we need to camp? Okay, we should probably try to camp. I'm just thinking, like, maybe I don't want to attack this spider right this turn. Let's go over here. If he attacks us, he attacks us, but I would love it if we could get a... man, kids are so bad at gathering. Love it if we could get a turn of healing before that. So we probably want to focus Wisdom with Adelaida. I know that we don't have a good Wisdom weapon now, but we will eventually. And Wisdom is also good for crafting and gathering. I think I'm just going to hang out for a turn here. Oh, the spider wants to do it now. Well, it's nice of him to wait for us to regen. And it looks like we're going to have to commit manually on these fights a lot. Actually, it looks like this one should be pretty easy, because we're able to sacrificial blood super hard. So this is randomly attacks one target. I guess it's very slightly faster than brute force, so that's the reason to put you down first. I should actually... Yeah, I'm screwing up here. I should not be doing I should be doing sacrificial blood and the boar summon last, not first. Out of curiosity, yeah, I could totally just do it again and kill these things without taking any damage. Because if I let them attack even once, we're going to lose a larger number of hit points than... Yeah, it's just blow them up. Triglav is awesome. What a powerful god. Right, got ourselves some level ups. I mean, it feels like Deathlover really wants more strength. And Darstan the Chosen, can stick to yellow stats, maybe? Hold on a second. Before we make this decision, carry limits, right? I've been not... Holy shit. Okay, what I was about to say is, I've been neglecting strength, and maybe I shouldn't be doing that. But right, dwarves have so much extra carry limit. This dwarf is a child. Isn't the child state? Oh, okay. The child state for most people reduces their carry limit, but the dwarf version of it doesn't have that. And then they also have a carry limit increase on top of that. So basically, Darstan doesn't need strength, is what we figured out there. I'm comfortable just giving him intelligence. Should we maybe pump mysticism on the orc to see if, like, orc witch is a thing? I kind of want to. We did get a female orc child. Yeah, let's see if you can be an orc witch. You know, we don't actually know that the Goblin Tainted Shaman class isn't male linked, because our Tainted Shaman was male, and we've never seen another one. It's the Mist and Fallen Homes. You find the unliving. Oh no. My guess is that we're gonna have to end up manually resolving this anyway, so let's just go ahead and start there. Yo, actually pretty terrifying. That's a high numbers. How do you have 5 armor and 18 health? What? So... How do we want to manage that? That seems actually pretty dangerous. Alright, let's play play you to the back row, and then I think I'm going to pass the turn, and next turn we play you plus Sword Orc. That does mean the Sword Orc goes a little bit slower, but she was already going to be slower than all of these enemies. And this lets me get absolute maximum value out of Strength of the Swarm. We're going to set up in the corner again so that we can try to use the boar to protect as many of us as possible. Yeah, this sucks, actually. These guys are remarkably powerful. So do we want to play you again? We only have 3 total points left. So I have to decide now if I want to do Sacrificial Blood. Is it Sacrificial Blood plus Boar, or is it Death Lover plus Boar? I mean, Death Lover will hit for more total damage during the first combat round. Yeah, I think we just go. So we want to play you first. This feels pretty bad, though. It turns out it's hard to win combat consistently when your party is primarily made up of children. All right, Boar, defend us. We did get not up to 9 damage on that attack, though, so that'll do some work. Okay, Boar absorbs 3 attacks, which is not too bad. That stacked up in a really crappy way, so one of the attacks from our Orc Child was 100% wasted. And our Orc Child's actually going to end up in a pretty dire state here. But they do only have 1 card left, so we just have to not play Death Lover again. She cannot afford to go back out there. Oh, right, I forgot that the combat boost from Strength of the Swarm persists between rounds. That's very silly. So then we summon the board now, I guess? Or is there a chance that I put Darstan out? I'm just thinking, like, trying to buff up the Strength of the Swarm further. I mean, does Death Lover have anything that she can do at this point? No, she doesn't have any sub-skills or anything. So we don't really need to do Sacrificial Blood. I kind of think we just play Adelaida again, and then we play the Boar afterward. Like, we're just gonna have to endure all these hits. That's a real shame, but we can't affect their speed enough to make it not the case. See, that third skeleton is too late in the turn. He's not going to be able to actually deal any damage to us. So I just need to eat one of the 2 attacks, and it doesn't matter which one. Adelaida will take a small amount of physical damage, and then she'll kill the skeletons immediately after. Oh, well, actually, the attack does slow us down a little bit, though, doesn't it? Not by enough for it to matter. Okay. Certainly not ideal. Death Lover took a lot more damage there than I would have liked. Search the ruins and leave. Oh, hey, we found wow, actually a really good shield. That's 11 points of shielding. So Death Lover cannot carry this shield, but Adelaida can. And Adelaida can just jump in front of everything. And now, if we get lucky, we could lose our Orc Child. Or if we get really unlucky, we could lose the Orc Child. But she's only below the threshold for a single turn. Okay, so she's good. We're fine. I'm gonna park for another turn here. We may as well finish gathering vegetables once. With only 3 mouths to feed, each turn of food gathering actually goes a really long way. Well, if this is some kind of wood, which it totally could be, right? It's in a forest. And we were to settle, like, here, we get monster bone plus 2 types of food. There's amber nearby. Not amazing. You know, if we settled right here, we would get whatever this is as well. And I don't know if it actually works like this, but it sure looks like from the terrain decoration that that's some kind of stone. How long would it take us to pull the terrain artifact? Quite a while. Jeez, yeah, man, 9 turns? But, like, do we need to do this in order to have some idea of whether we want to settle here? I kind of think we do. Because if this is some kind of decent wood, then this settle is pretty reasonable. Or I guess we would still want it to be here, because we want access to the vegetables. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, the ground beneath your feet collapses. Okay, I'm not afraid of these rats. Oh, we could probably do better than that. In the early going, it's so much more important to to do the challenges manually. Yeah, it's a shame this isn't Random Blast, like, 2. That'd be really helpful. Alright, so let's get you out. And then, honestly, like... Man, 6 damage, huh? These rats bite hard. And the strength of the swarm's only going to make it worse. I think we maybe don't end up playing Death Lover at all this combat. So maybe I pass again and then play Adelaida plus 4. Because the enemies don't actually have a lot of health. But they are going to swarm up on us pretty bad. Yeah, the swarming is like a real huge pain. Or we could just have the Chosen kill one of them straight up. That's probably the thing we want to do last. Which is to say next turn. But we could use that... Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play the boar right here. I'm going to let them play some more stuff. We're gonna pass the turn with 1 point up. Okay, that's kind of what I was hoping for. I wanted to see them play a duplicate of a card. And then we're going to blow that card up to remove the maximum amount of damage from the field. That ability is so powerful. And then we can play Death Lover relatively safely behind the boar. Like, the boar's going to die on the first turn, but we're going to have done a lot of damage by the time that happens. So there'll only be 1 rat left for the second turn, and I think he'll hit Jada, right? Yeah. Okay. That is totally ideal. That worked out really well. So I don't think the auto-resolve is probably not going to take into effect the Triglav Chosen ability at all, or take into account the Triglav Chosen ability at all. We're going to have to play a lot of our combats here manually, especially in the early going, but that's super powerful. Okay, the odds that I'm actually going to use that are basically 0, and I know the Strength of the Swarm is not actually... Improving Strength of the Swarm is not going to help with our extra points of stats, but it is going to give us a little bit of delay reduction. Which seems valuable. Then we're just going to chill here until we pull up this terrain artifact. Ooh, we're actually running low on wood. Okay, once again, rats. Ooh, this time there are fat rats. Total defeat. That seems unlikely. Are fat rats really that much more dangerous than the others? Oh, you know what? Yeah, like a lot, actually. Like, very dangerous. Well, I think we're going to go for basically the same play here. It's really good last time. So we can hit them for 9 right away. And then we can hit them for less afterward. If we wanted to play it again. This is legitimately more dangerous. I almost want to retreat. But if we retreat, it's not going to actually help retreating. Because we're still going to have to deal with these guys. You know, they're a pack on the world map, so... Okay, I was hoping the thing were not going to play into that position, but I wanted to get the kid down as fast as possible so that the sword attack would happen early. Then we play the boar here. And then we do the chosen ability wherever it makes the most sense. Probably on this guy. No, it's definitely the one that does 19 damage on its attack now. Jesus Christ. We're gonna, depending on how these attacks all go off, we're gonna maybe actually lose. That happens on 9.8. No, we're totally gonna lose. I should have run away. Combat with all these kids is too tough, maybe. We're just gonna have to not do it this way. You know, this pack of rats is, like, incredibly terrifying, though. Yeah, okay. Hidden within green shrubbery, concealed by the veil of night, but illuminated by the stars, you witness a gathering of 4 creatures of the spirit world. They are all looking into a puddle of perfectly clear water. Within there is a reflection of a small human babe. Creatures are small and seem to have wings. One seems to have a squirrel tail. Mostly they are obscured from your view by an ever-present mist. Okay. I mean, they're demons. They're definitely demons. They seem akin to some house demons, you know, like Bozetta Krasnoludki, maybe? Little folk who cared for humans. But it is odd to find them here, and the wings don't fit. Perhaps Hawklick's doing some odd magic. Let's speak to them? Oh, an audience. Splendid. My younglings need lessons learned. Will you take part in our birth blessing for this little one? Sorry, who are you and what is a birth blessing? We are Vroska, Pixies, Silvas, many names in many places. We are what you call demons, or spirits more like. The birth blessing is a ceremony of gift-giving. This child's parents believe in us, so we will bestow the blessing. Will you observe? Well, I literally don't have a choice. The creatures speak into the water. I will bless you with the grace of a young birch tree. I will grant you the gleaming gold from the earth's core. Yo, I'm not the only one who thinks that trees are not graceful, right? I will bestow upon you the boundless beauty of a spring flower, and I will make your eyes twinkle with the depth and purity of the oceans. After a pause, the last creature speaks again. I shall deem your heart filled with goodness. Forest creatures argue over whose gift was best, but the last one bellows at the others, Quiet! Let the strangers answer your ignorance. What say you? You know she speaks to you now as you feel her eyes upon you. Aye, that's a great question. Well, goodness is good, obviously. That said, gold is also pretty good. I think that generally goodness is a powerful thing. Yes, goodness of the heart is the truest gift. Beauty of man or flower alike wilts away. Birches are nimble, but break. Bright eyes go blind, and gold can lead to greed and despair. The creature presents you with a gift for your right answer. It's a pet demon, and also some elven wood, which is handy. So, okay, yep, there it is. Alright, well, we're not going to be able to win anymore with just the 2 children. Yeah, it's just, that's a level 1 difficulty challenge, really? Enemies that hit for 20? Okay. I think that's probably too hard. We probably can't pull that one off. Alright, let's go back in there. We're going to replace the Orc Child with a Warrior. We'll make the Warrior our chosen. Although, I do sort of have to wonder if it's a good idea to make the Warrior the chosen, or if we'd rather make one of the... If we make the Dwarf Child the chosen, then we have the Warrior who's fighting at full strength, plus that chosen ability. And the Dwarf Child still might grow up to be really powerful. Yeah, alright, we'll try it that way. We'll try an Orc Child in some future game. I do just want to, like... So we didn't actually get to see the kid grow up. Let's stick with this. I'm very curious about the other races and the kinds of things they can grow up into. The kinds of classes that they have available. It seems like there's quite a few races that we've never had a person of, and there's quite a few different classes in the game. So let's hope that this goes a little bit better. With a warrior, we should have a much easier time in these early challenges. So what did we end up with equipment-wise here? Alright, a not very good gathering thing. Steel crafting tool. I don't know what to do with this. We don't need this yet. And a quartz crafting tool. Weird. And this time we have a spitting spider and a horse and the boar. So boar goes on the kid, probably. Or maybe the spitting spider goes on the kid. It would do like, yeah, keep the boar on you, spitting spider. Did you end up generating with? You did not generate with strength of the swarm. Okay, so this will give you something more valuable to do during red challenges. And then no reason not to have the horse equipped. So our warrior here has, okay, reasonable starting strength, a two-handed sword. We got to get some armor, and then the two-handed sword's shielding increase will be pretty good. Okay, we just need some armor. So I can't help but notice that there's no fog of war. For some reason we can actually see all of the terrain. That's weird. And is that true on the other? It is true on the other islands. Why is that the case? I mean, I guess it's not super useful because we can't actually see the resources or anything, but that's strange. Okay, and then the fog lays over. Huh. What a weird little bug. Yeah, I'm kind of bummed out. I think that position where we were thinking about putting down our city actually did look pretty good. Alright, I know. Cook you some food. I'll get right on it. By which I mean that quest step will accidentally complete when we find some food, and that is all the effort I'm going to put into that. Right, let us search these ruins carefully. Hey look, it's a bunch of skeleton guys. Alright, so the warrior has a fair amount of starting health, but unfortunately no armor. Dwarf kid started with some armor, which is pretty good. So unfortunately, the fact that the skeleton is using an axe means that he gets to go first and he gets to hit us really hard. But I mean, we'll use summons, right? So what do we want to do with this other point? We can save the summons for pretty late in the battle because of the fact that they're cheap. Or the fact that they're fast. So do I want to just like throw early sacrificial blood? Probably not. Maybe I just bank this point. Doesn't feel right, but I'm not actually playing anything with delay onto the table. Yeah, I'm just gonna bank the point, actually. Okay, this skeleton is less scary. I'm actually gonna play her a second time to get her down with as little delay as possible quickly. And then we have 4 more total points. So what do we want to do with them? 2 of them are going to the summoning of the boar and the summoning of the spider. And then we will be able to play one ability once. It won't be able to be one of her abilities because her cost is too high. So it's going to be one of these. Either Sacrificial Blood, which is pretty good, or Protect Others on Fighter, and Boar, probably. That's not bad. I guess at this point nothing we're doing is delay bound, so let's go ahead and do some summons. Although we still don't actually know where we want to put stuff down. Yeah, actually, let's pass the turn, let them play some cards. Really? They just gained... That was a huge amount of shielding. What the hell? Oh, well, the good news is, the warrior, the shield, the sword, AoE strike, will work through these guys pretty quickly, but that sucks. Okay, let's go Spitting Spider here. It does not look to me like there's any chance they're going to play anything behind anything else, so we just put the boar there. Yeah, that is crappy. It may be the case that I want to go ahead and do Sacrificial Blood. Let me think. Right now it looks like we're going to do 10 plus 5 to this guy. And then also 3. He moves on 12, so he'll get his attack off once, the way things are set up right now. If I were to Sacrificial Blood him, drop him down to 25? He has 31 damage right now, 23. If I dropped him to 23, he takes 3 from this guy, goes down to 20. We hit him for 15 during the first round, so we don't get to kill him during the first round no matter what. So it's probably not actually worth spending the Sacrificial Blood. He's going to get all his attacks off. So then maybe I just... Yeah, I think I just armor up. Just do this thing. Try to keep people alive. The armor on the board doesn't actually help. He dies in 2 hits no matter what. But you have to have a third target. Alright, so our warrior takes 1 hit from the axe, plus 1 hit from the sword. There's not a way to avoid that, as far as I can tell. And we kill both of these guys before the second round of combat. Or before either of them hits a second time, I mean. And then it's a new round, so we can summon our boar again. Like, from here, we're totally in the clear. So, yeah, let's just play her again. She does do pretty good damage. It's nice to have somebody who can do real damage, especially in an area. We are reasonably sure that we're going to end up doing this, so we may... Oh, sorry, not that. That. So we may as well just go ahead and do it. And then Spitting Spider. Okay, and now, as it stands, we are going to do enough damage to kill these guys after this one has attacked. So right now we're going to endure 1 attack for 4 damage. We could skip that by trading off 4 health from this character. Yeah, we may as well. I guess spread the damage out, because everybody has their own regen. It's better to take 8 damage on one character and 4 damage on another than to take 12 damage on one, in terms of the number of turns it will take you to get back to full. Okay. Found 11 granite, a dark gathering tool, which is actually really good, and a sandstone relic, which is fine. Dark gathering tool was a great find. I'm assuming that this character has the highest gathering, so yeah, he'll keep the percentage-based tool. Okay, this is a pretty good find, and the kid can hold this. Yeah, you know, honestly, his wisdom is okay, too. Like, he can actually participate in yellows a little bit. That was not so bad. So where do we want to go? I mean, we want to go north, right? We want to see what's over there, but we can loop around the mountains a little bit, because the wood indicates to us that it might be an interesting spot to settle. Alright, I'm not happy with any of this. I was really hoping to pull wisdom on the dwarf, and really hoping to pull strength on Nadia. I think I'm going to take wits on her, actually. For the dwarf child, we could just take intelligence. It's not really, like, super good. Does that weapon attack with... Okay, it attacks with destiny on purple. So... mysticism's not very good. Strength is fine. I guess I'll take the intelligence. I'm not wild about it. And then you're pretty yellow stat focused. Yeah, okay. On you, I'm less worried about the intelligence. Seems fine. Alright, well, there's lots of food around here. Ooh. Dryad wood. Black wood that releases a golden resin when cut. Not a lot else going on around here, though. Let's stop for a second and gather some food. Unfortunately, neither one of these gathers as efficiently as I would like. But this is a new type of food, so it'll give us a little bit of extra morale as well. Go look around here. Okay, here we go. We're starting to see some interesting stuff. So iron, steel, and granite. Granite is great for making that initial idol. How much granite do we have? Okay, so if we were to spend an advancement point on granite, we'd go up to having 21 of it, which means that we're actually pretty close to being able to build a pretty good idol. Let's see if there's anything else interesting in the direction of the granite. Okay, that's in a tile that could be... It could be a wood resource. And there is some food. If we settled right here, we'd have wood plus food plus granite plus iron. Provided that actually is wood over there. Let's keep looking around a little bit. Plus, going this way will give me an opportunity to gather the vegetables. Just barely making that threshold, which is awfully nice. Go and cover some underground tunnels. Yeah, sure, let's go in. You see a nest of vipers sprawling inside, and they see you. Do I want to try to fight some vipers? I do want to succeed at red challenges. That does seem important. Also, like loot and meat and stuff early on. Ooh, 3 vipers. I'm assuming that, yeah. I'm assuming we can't do this. Let's commit some cards to the table, let them play some stuff out, see what it looks like. Maybe we can pull it off. 9 damage with 35 health. Yep, that's not going to be doable at all. Snakes prove too strong. They swarm you and force you to flee. So 2 turns of 6 damage per turn is actually pretty dangerous. That's a lot of health lost. We definitely want to make sure we're encamped at the end of each of these turns. We want to be maximizing our health regen. Okay, dryad wood. We got to check what's down here. But like, this isn't a bad settle. Vegetables plus dryad wood plus granite. Yeah, I'm a little worried about the health loss from that poison. That is a little harsh. We can't see across the river. Well, we'll just have to actually move over to the river. And we are not going to be able to pull any of this stuff. This is the last turn of the poison. So some health regen plus... Yeah, we're gonna drop down below, but we'll be okay at the beginning of next turn. So long as we don't lose the dwarf this turn, we should be okay. This is what, 4.5 is the line where we're no longer in danger? If we do lose the dwarf child... Okay, I was going to say, if we do lose the dwarf child, I think that's a restart, probably. That's a shame there are no resources over here. Well... Alright, here's what I'm thinking. This position is potentially... better than, this position is potentially better because that dryad artifact could be like, whatever the wild kind of wood is. Yeah, it could be dark wood. Then again, although dark wood does have a greater essence count than dryad wood does, dryad wood doesn't have that additional chance of making garbage items. So maybe the dryad wood's just better. We don't have a good source of gems anywhere nearby under any circumstances, which is a real shame. I'm actually not going to recamp. I know we're not at full health. Of course there are enemies. You come across a small watering hole. There's nothing particularly special about it, but you see a small gray fish flopping about on the shore, dying. A small gray fish. I think we had a version of this event that had a goldfish, right? Throw the fish back in the water? You throw the fish back in the water, and within moments, it wriggles back to life. Okay, it turns gold when you put it in the water. That's what I was remembering. You saved me. Thank you. I'm afraid I cannot offer my usual wishes, as you did not negotiate before the rescue. So I guess what I should have done is tried to walk away. Mean, I know, but what can you do? Rules are rules. So we could insist that we are owed a good reward, in which case there's a chance we get cursed or something. Or... No, I'm going to ask if another reward is in order. I cannot say, as this is another rule I am bound by. See these 3 water lilies. Choose one and the reward will await you. Okay, we chose one and we got 21 wood. Honestly, not horrible. Right, I'm just trying to look around here. So this is probably... Okay, see the granite has some like stuff poking up through the rock here. We see a similar thing over here. So this is probably granite underneath this terrain artifact. Now that we have all this extra wood, we can certainly afford to camp. Maybe I'm being greedy, but I'm just like, I'm trying to make sure we get the best local settle. Okay. Well, there's some guaranteed granite. And then, I don't... this looks... It looks the same. I think these are both granite, probably. So meat, iron, it's a very similar spot, right? How many turns would it take for us to pull that? 7? I think we could probably we could afford to just settle over here and pull it afterward. All right, a pack of crows. Somehow we're still not at full health. All right, hold on. Can we do better than that? How are we still not at full health? That seems crazy to me. Okay, so like in this battle, the area effect of the sword is probably going to be a lot less good. Just it's hard to imagine them. Hard to imagine them playing enough enemies close enough together for us to get any benefit there. I guess I'm going to hold off. I don't really know what I want to do yet, because I don't know where they're going to play. So they don't hit super hard. And right now we're going to kill that guy, but he's going to hit us first. If we did this, he would die before he deals damage. So we probably will do that. Let's try to remember that that is a thing that I want to do. And I guess for right now, let's just go ahead and play the Spitting Spider. And then it's like play the boar, then use the bleed ability. Boy, that's a lot of crows over there. If I play the boar right here, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. I'll just put him there. I'm really hoping that they play this guy again. Damn it. Well, I think he's still the one that we do the ability on. Because we want to get rid of him as quickly as possible so that we have some of those area strikes actually splashing over here. Alright, so the first sword strike kills this crow. And then we can start getting area damage, which is pretty great. The boar did what he could. Oh, and that's lovely of them. Really nice of them to choose to attack the wrong target like that. Okay, that wasn't too bad. And we got some research material out of it, and then a pack of beasts approaches. I'm going to choose not to fight them, because it gave me the option of not fighting them. Okay. Falcon can take an extra level of being a dwarf, which is 1.5 points of crafting, some carry limit, some health. That's fine. Or we could gain dagger toss. Doesn't he have poison dagger throw already? No, he doesn't. But he does have the spider. I think I want to take this more than anything else. Plus, this has points of crafting available on it. So if there is some class that you can only become as a dwarf child by getting a lot of crafting, then we have access to that. Line Charge is not a great ability. I guess it is useful in concept challenges because it's innate to the character rather than based on their weapon. So I don't think she probably doesn't. Yeah, she currently doesn't really have a great red concept challenge skill, so that's good for that. And then on you, I think it's hard to imagine not taking extra points of gathering. So do we want to hang out here and do the terrain artifact, or do we want to just move east? I think we probably want to just move east. What's everybody's... Okay, we could really use a little bit faster health regen, I'll tell you that. I think we're just going to move east and have a look around. Wow, there are beasts absolutely everywhere. Victory with serious injuries probably is roughly... It's probably roughly as well as we'll do, but I guess we should try. Given what we've seen last time, though, it's hard to imagine we're going to do better than that. Okay, so yeah, these crows are very similar. I mean, no big surprise there, right? They're very similar to the last group of crows we fought. They do have more ranged attacks, though. They're going to be less vulnerable to our area damage, which really does suck a lot. Sacrificial Blood does enough damage that it'll mean that crow there is going to die in a single hit. We're probably going to end up doing that. I'm going to play Spitting Spider out here, just try to draw attention to it, basically. And then I think I'm going to pass, because there's not really a lot of benefit to me playing anything else right now. Okay, that sucks. Because now it's no longer the case that we can kill this thing in one hit with the damage from the stab. So how does that change my play? Not very much, I guess. We still play the boar here. Yeah. And then we still want to do Sacrificial Blood over Protect Others, I think. Let's see. Protect Others would give us 4 points of shielding on the warrior, which would mean we take very little damage during the first round. Sacrificial Blood will not reduce the number of strikes necessary to kill this bird. But it will reduce the number of strikes. Yeah, I'm still going to Sacrificial Blood that guy. So he'll die in one hit once we actually hit him. You know what, I wasn't thinking about the fact that these are the same bird. I could have done this a little bit better. Okay, and then they're really focusing in on my actual characters, which is the correct thing to do, but it also feels very spiteful. Okay, so one of them off the table, the other one not quite, sadly. And then we take 8 more damage on our fighter, who will just die after combat almost certainly. That really sucks. The good news is the battle's over. Yep, alright, that's it. This button is skip to the end, right? Yeah. They still get to make their plays if they want to, although... Okay, I was going to say, weirdly, they're kind of choosing not to. But yeah, we have 0 delay attacks to finish the job. If Nadia dies, we are probably screwed. And also, there's like a really good chance that we're just going to get attacked again immediately. So the grain being in that space is a little awkward. I guess, actually, no, that just means that the space we're standing on right now is where we want to settle. Because now we have grain plus meat plus wood plus granite plus iron in this space. This is the spot. So, we would start pulling up the terrain artifact. Actually, no, what we would do is research granite. And the most important thing actually is gathering enough granite to start the town. You can start working on the terrain artifact. And if the fighter doesn't die on this turn, then we're maybe pretty solid. Okay, so we do actually have to fight, because if we retreat, it's going to deal damage to everybody, and it's going to push her further down, which means she spends more turns in the roll for death zone. Let's try to resolve that manually a little bit more safely. I'm going to play her once into the corner. Her sword is too powerful not to use. Yeah, of course you have Strength of the Swarm. Why wouldn't you? The good news is we can probably actually kill this bat before it gets an action. Oh, no, we can't. No, we can't. I would need to do 1 more point of damage. I would need to do 0.2 more damage with Sacrificial Blood. Alright, well... We're probably going to have to play you. Just as we need to deal more damage in total. Then I am going to have to do Sacrificial Blood. Well, if we can't quite get there with the Spitting Spider, is there even a point? Oh no, she's gonna kill it before it gets a turn anyway, and it doesn't have... Yeah, it doesn't have delay reduction. So never mind, we're cool. In that case, I don't do anything with this point. I just pass. Yeah, because he's going to get stronger, but he's not going to get faster, and he's still going to die. And then we can play like... Let me think here. I kind of want to play the boar, but I also want to wait until next turn to do so. I want to wait until our last moment. We certainly can't play you again. Actually, that's not true. I could play you again and do Poison Throwing Dagger from the back row. From behind the other card that is you. Although these guys have target selected enemy, so actually they're going to kill her. Well, crappy. I'm going to play the boar now. And I think I'm going to play it here. There's a risk if I play it here that it doesn't get the double damage, but I really do want to be able to draw more attacks to it. I guess we can use the spider for that as well. Let's go ahead and play the boar here. And then I'm going to have... I have 1 point now plus 2 points next turn. So I could use... It could be like spider plus protect others. Just give her a little bit of shielding. What she's going to need. I think that's probably right. Put the spider here to draw attacks. Okay, and then protect others on you, and... Let's see, they're going to play their third bat, so everybody's going to get up 1 more point of damage. This is largely irrelevant, isn't it? Because they're going to be doing so much damage. Yeah, our warrior's dead. I don't think we can keep her alive. I mean, it doesn't have to go down that way. They might choose not to target her. But we certainly can't count on it. Let's see what happens. Okay, yeah, she's dead. And not like off the table, like dead. The good news is we kill them before they get to do anything else this turn. But yeah, she's sub-0 hit points. She's going to die immediately. Well, she didn't. She managed to get back up to 3. Safety is 30%, so she has to get up to like 9. It might be the case that she is only in danger for 1 more turn, but there's nothing we can do to speed up the healing process, unfortunately. Well, she didn't die. All we can really do is sit here and gather granite. Oh, and we had a child, in fact. Please don't make the mortally wounded lady give birth. That doesn't seem safe. Alright, and that is enough granite, I believe, to build us a seed. And then once we have a town, we have a house demon, or we have our guardian demon. Things are going to get so much easier. Put you and you, apparently, on that task. 3 turns. And you two can keep working on this. Oh boy, we're going to get attacked again. Distance to another settlement is 3 or fewer tiles. What? No, it's not. I don't think a boar's lair counts as a settlement. I guess we can't actually see these tiles, can we? Damn it. Alright, well, so there's nowhere we can move to where we maintain the grain and the meat. We could move up and hope that we will see... Boy, what do we do here? We can hope that there are fish. There's a settlement here or here. If the settlement's here... Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I was trying to click to... Also, that's a Lightbringer settlement, so that's hugely bad. Okay, so if we settle We can't settle here. We settle 1, 2, 3. So we'd have to settle like here or here. We settle here. We still get the grain. We no longer get the meat, but we get everything else. Or we could settle further up the coast, like here. We get grain, fish. We no longer get iron. But it wouldn't be terribly difficult to send people out to gather the iron, given that it's, only a little bit away from the village, and they would still be within the village's protection. Yeah, I think it's got to be up here then. That really sucks. That was a really good place to settle. It also really sucks to have the Lightbringer so close, but I mean, what are you going to do? Oh my god, it is so hard to move around over here. I mean, I'll tell you what we gotta do. We gotta go over there and burn that Lightbringer village to the ground. It's really our only recourse. Okay. Fish, grain, granite, dryad wood, normal wood, and whatever's under the terrain artifact, which we have reason to assume is more granite. And then if we replace the crystal, the idol with a higher tier building material later, we can pick up the iron. I think this is it. I don't think I want to wander around a lot. I think we want to settle right here, and we're just going to try to get strong fast in order to deal with that Lightbringer village. Alright, same plan as before. Life is going to be so much easier once we have that demon. There are so many wild animal packs. It's crazy. Okay, on our next turn, at the beginning of our next turn, we get our village up. We have to not die until then. Do not have a choice but to fight these guys, which sucks. I'll take a victory with light injuries. That's fine. I will say move away on these dudes. I don't want to fight these beasts this turn. They can challenge me again next turn if they want. Okay. Hounds up. Now we have Bozidar. A good old Bozidar. Oh, I forgot to equip our crafting stuff. We could maybe have sped that up by a turn. Maybe? Probably not, honestly. So do we want to give the kid one of the other animals? Yeah, we can give the kid the boar. Because Ginger at least has enough health that sometimes it's worth having him jump in front of stuff. Alright, so we have a little bit of stuff here. Obviously, it would be great if we could get to like plus 10% damage, but our situation is what it is regarding morale. Are we still on the part of the Theodore quest where I have to cook for him? Okay. We should be able to do that, right? I do not have the stuff for sweetmeats. Well, we could spend an advancement point on fish plus grain recipes. It's probably worth doing. Morale seems really important. And I know I said we were going to go school really fast, but we can go school with the next point. So fish plus grain is going to be... looks like... actually... Hearty meals is where fish plus grain is. That's really awkward. Oh no, okay, traditional menu has grain plus fish. That will totally work. No, it doesn't. For some reason. I was lied to. Fortunately, we make some pierogi. Oh man, it's been a while since I've had any pierogi. There's a strong Polish tradition in the part of the United States that I'm from. A lot of like Polish cultural centers and stuff. So we have good Polish food at the times of the year when it is appropriate to have good Polish food. Oh, probably the problem with the fish is that I don't actually have any fish. You can't cook fish that you haven't yet caught. We do need to grab that terrain artifact. I'm going to have the kids get started on it, but I want to make sure we actually get some fish here. Alright, so we get a turn of regen, and then we have to fight these birds, and I'm just going to do that. Okay, I think things are solidified. Oh! I guess we're already that far. Dwarven child is about to become an adult. Path is never easy. You must now choose what journey the young one will take. Well, it turns out all we can do is gather her. That's a shame. I was really hoping that the dwarf kid could at least grow up to be a crafter. Trials to become a worker are often the safest. Alright. Thalcon has grown into a mighty... Wow, actually, yeah, a pretty mighty gatherer. Look at those stats. 93 health, 89 sanity. Not real good at purple stuff, but, like, actually really good at everything except purple stuff. Okay, let's pull the pierogi recipe. What does this make? This also makes pierogi. I am told by people in the comments, and I guess we can see if this is true, that 2 dishes that have, like, grain plus fish pierogi should actually be a different food item than grain plus egg pierogi, and thus they should each provide the morale benefit, for having food, having a different kind of food. So let's see if that looks true. Okay, he did the thing. Thank you. I'll go check out the abandoned house when it becomes convenient to do so. So, we have our first child, and it is a female child, and I have to say, I feel strongly incentivized to, like, just lean mysticism and try to force Mila into, being a witch. Because, man, witches seem good. I know that that's not really, like, the thing we're focusing on this game, but we already have a warrior. You know, we already have our warriors, so maybe having Mila as a witch... We're going to have to be able to engage in purple challenges, especially this close to a Lightbringer village. We have to have somebody who's good at purple. So yeah, let's go get ourselves a witch. And then let's take you off this and go look at our inventory. The pierogi is... Yeah, it's registering as 2 different food items. Unfortunately, I can't tell... We don't get enough information on the morale mouse over to actually, like... Yeah, base value 20. Okay, hold on. Each food type increases morale by 1 per turn until it reaches 10 times the carried food types. Okay, so it would be hard to tell right now anyway, because morale increases slowly over time, not immediately when you get the new food type. But yeah, I mean, the fact that it appears as 2 different items in our inventory makes me think that definitely is how it works. So that's cool. Oh, crafting tools. We should have the crafting tools equipped on people. So, what is your crafting's probably... Yeah, it's actually real good. Let's give you this percentage-based crafting increaser. And then... Mila may as well hold this one. There's no sense in not having it on. Okay, well, we've got a little bit of stuff established here. So, where is Theodore's house? Oh, yeah. Welcome, Bozidar. So he's almost gotten us to another advancement point, which we would definitely use to just build a, Oh, it's over here. It's right there. Okay. That's not too far. So yeah, we're going to build a school, like, right away, right? With that advancement point, in fact. So now that we have some of the basics established, let's actually put the people who are most effective at gathering on this. Let's get this done. And then we may as well have fish and grain be pulling in. We'll have to get some wood as well, but we can gather wood just as effectively during winter. Alright. And we can now, yeah, we can auto-resolve some easy challenges here. I do appreciate the ravens bringing me all the free eggs. It is in fact quartz. That's interesting. It's hard for me to imagine we would ever use quartz when we have access to a source of granite. Alright, well, Bozidar probably takes another level of demon because energy scattering is a really good skill. Jindra probably focuses intelligence, and it's really hard for me not to want to take the strength on Nadia. I think that's probably what happens there. And then I think we probably send a person out just to interact with the house. It doesn't much matter who it is. Oh, sorry, it should actually be probably the child. It should be whoever's gathering skill is the worst. Yep. I'll give the kid A small amount of food? Really? Yeah, it doesn't doesn't need to be much. And then I don't know. What if we have to have her camp for a turn? She can have 1 wood. Fast for a child. Alright, find Theodore's abandoned house. Oh no, there's no way out. The doors are gone. Well, let's use our mind. No, let's use the power of turmoil to get out of this pickle. Then we killed the hag with weapons. Whoa, Falcon took 30... Yeah, that's right. I was like, 33 damage, that's a huge amount. It's a third of his health. Yo, dwarves are bananas. I can't wait until we manage to get another dwarf kid. So I'm hoping the fact that we have an adult dwarf should mean, if I'm understanding the systems right, that we can acquire dwarf children through the Cabbage Patch event now. So I'm hoping we'll get one soon and get to raise that kid up into a more specific dwarf class. Because those have to be good, right? Alright, Theodore will be back to give us a thing soon. Should I have the child run over and interact with these ruins? They're close enough that we get the benefit of the city on them. Okay, yes, I know your whole deal. So I think I don't remember which one of these we like better. I know that we've done the Dola one a bunch, and it has worked out for us in the past. Let's go ahead and do that. I think we're close enough to the town. Yeah, we can have Bozidar go in and call out to her. The Dola demon is rare and often goes unseen. Here's the thing, we got a real problem ahead. We'll just look at her with our child's large, sad eyes. Mila is a real, an expert manipulator already at this age. Okay, so now we have an in to the game. Oh, I suppose I should... We know we're going to spend this point on this. We may as well just go ahead and do it. We are going to get a school going really early. If we get another advancement point soon, we should probably try to build a playground before Mila grows up. So what would it take to actually build a good school? Let's talk about school buildings. So we can build it out of granite. We put together 90 granite. That's 0.2 research points per turn. What else do we have around us? Wood, basically. We actually don't have a good source of bone anywhere that we've seen. There is some decent leather nearby. Okay. So it's going to be either granite or dryad wood, right? So this is the wrong building. There we go. If we made it out of dryad wood, 2.2 research increase, 0.2 research points per turn. And if we make it out of granite, it's actually slightly better. Okay, well, it's not exactly rocket science. That's how we'll do it. Unfortunately, 90 granite is a little bit of an imposition. You do grab 13 granite per pull, though. Yeah, it's not so bad. I'm going to have him refocus on fish for a minute here. And now that you are a gatherer, perhaps we want to focus perception with you? We gotta find, like, a bow or something for him. Okay. Yes, I accept your important task. And here's the Hawklick. I believe what we want to do here, what we've learned, right, is ask why we should kill Leopold. And then agree to do it, but only in exchange for a superior reward. Because, I mean, we didn't actually get the Goblin Kid last time, but it might be one of those things where sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. And I would love to have another member of the party, and especially I would love to have a Goblin on staff. That would be really cool. Okay, Falcon, it seems to me we could improve Protect Others. And Protect Others does get pretty powerful once you have a lot of levels in it, although it's a shame it doesn't scale with your stats at all. But also, at this point, Master Craftsman is, like, pretty useful. And then, Luck for Children is pretty good. Alright, let's cross the river and then interact with these real quick. So am I... yes, I am right in thinking that we get to use the party in this event. So, let's investigate the less safe part of the ruins for the greater loot. Okay, scaled leather and spices. And that is the advancement point that we would need. Let's see if we can build a children's playground. Uh-oh, I'm noticing that it's made out of stuff that we don't have a lot of. Yeah, bone leather gem, huh? Well... Or metal. We could use some metal. We're pretty close to being able to build it. Like, if we got a little bit more scaled leather and a little bit more normal bone, we could do that. Ooh, with bone essence. It's basically a witch factory. Okay, so I guess the question here is... How much time do we have left? Excuse me. How much time do we have left on Milla's childhood? 28 turns. Okay, so we have some time to figure this out. We totally could get this built. And it would help her to become a witch. I really want a witch. I'm like terrified of being this close to these Lightbringers. So we need the ability to win purple challenges to defend ourselves from the Lightbringers at first while we're building up, and then we will use red challenges to really take them out. But we're not ready yet. So we could go get some iron. We could go get scaled leather. If we just made it out of leather, how much leather are we talking about? Right, because we could do this thing. That's not bad. I really would like to use bone for these, I guess. It's less good for increasing... It's less good for any child who doesn't want to become a witch. I don't know. We don't really have an option, though. Yeah, so it looks like maybe we end up going all leather. If we use metal or gem, does it add any interesting essences? No, okay. Bone is the only thing that matters. So we could put together a little leather expedition. Are we cool on food and wood for the winter? Not really. Not yet. And I still want to get that school built. 90. But the leather expedition's, like, pretty important. I guess we can't do it until we get another advancement point anyway. And then we still need to pay the advancement point to get the dryad wood. One thing at a time. Hey, we've fallen into a tunnel with a bunch of rats, and they're not attacking us because rats are the best. Some of the rats begin tugging at your feet as if to carry you into their secret corridor. And we follow them. Further into the tunnel, you see an obese rat slumped on a throne made of rat droppings. It's the Rat King! This is a much better version of that than what Rat King actually means. Well, we have no option but to attack. I almost wonder if we could start this fight and then intentionally just run away, you know, not actually fight them, and if the Rat King would, like, would decide that we're heroic or something. But also, we do need XP. Yeah, I'm just gonna fight the rats. Okay, we got a ton of meat out of that. That's actually great. And also 5 bone, I think, is enough, right? Hey, look, it's Leopold attempting to smear shit on my clothes. Why? What is wrong with you, Leopold? Alright, you kill the shock and the Hushlik flies over. Here's your reward. Anyway, here's your wand. Hey, buddy, what about the Goblin Child? I never said I'd give it to you. Here, have a spider instead. You did me a solid. Yeah, I'm absolutely killing you. Ooh, boy, he brought a bunch of demons, huh? I'll take that outcome. Take the child if you can, and leave. Turns out you can't. Yeah, maybe you just can't get a child from this event. I will say, that version of the event did award us quite a lot of stuff, so it's hard to be too upset about it. Alright. You search the old ruins until you realize a dark foreboding mist is descending upon the place. Black mist is a dreaded remnant of the days of darkness. Light is one of our domains. We could call upon light to protect us from this dark power, but this is like a thing that we're not good at interacting with. I think I'm just gonna run. I don't want to get involved in any of that nonsense. Alright, let's bring the kid home. This is the card game, yeah? We may as well do that too, while we're out here. Pack of beasts has approached. We should maybe manually resolve this? Oh no, perfect victory. Okay, never mind. I was just thinking, the game's awfully eager to take damage on our dwarf, and there's a limit to how many times it's a good idea to let that happen. Let's take wits. Actually, you know what? Let's take the 2 points of mysticism, because we probably want a couple of people who are good at fighting purple challenges. And the kid needs to get home. She's almost out of food. Okay, this is our little story event here. We'll just barge in and ask where is the Chosen who has defied the gods. We listened to a Chosen once before, so... we do have a role-playing question here. How much do we want to just murder everyone we meet? I do think it would be a good idea to have some friends. Like, there are some things we're not going to be able to get in the early game by doing it ourselves. Like, we're going to need trading to acquire, like, for example, in some cases, just, like, any bones at all. Sometimes we're just going to need some bone. And also, a friendly village or two is potentially good for recruitment. So I think I'm going to not kill these guys. We could totally kill, what's-his-face? The other Chosen. Yeah, Zbigniew. We'll kill Zbigniew. I think our god will like that. But I think I want to be friends with the Slavian, if we can. Alright, so let's bring you back home. We've almost got a thing. Oh, hey! A stork stuck on a tree. That's right, there's a trap. You climb up the tree carefully so as not to spook the stork, and it turns out it's caught in a metal trap, and we should free it. You know how to handle animals. Approach the stork carefully, speak to it, and try to remove the trap. Or call upon your domain to help calm the bird, then try to help. We do have the nature domain. Alright, little stork blessing. Always nice. And Mila has grown up too quickly. Well, do we want to go for a warrior, a second warrior, or do we want her to become a crafter? We don't have a dedicated crafter, but we do have the dwarf who's pretty good at crafting, and maybe it would be a good idea to just get a second warrior going, nice and early? Let's try it. Child failed its trials and risks grave danger. Lost for many months, but returned as a scavenger, which is a real shame. That's alright, she can work as a gatherer, I guess. Not the way I would have chosen for that to go. Okay, so Jindra should probably pick up Strength of the Swarm, because I love Strength of the Swarm, and you can get a higher level of Protect Others, or I think we're just going to take Shield Self. Just 3 points of all-color shielding. That's a thing we're going to want to level up quickly. Okay, so... it looks like it might have just been the case that the game starts with a ton of monster packs out on the islands, and we've dealt with all of that initial spawn. Because it seems like things have calmed down quite a bit. How are we doing on Granite? We are still not even close. Let's have you start gathering wood, because we are going to need some wood to make it through the winter. I don't know. This starting position's fine. Yeah, we have wood, we have sort of access to metal. We don't have any gem or bone access anywhere on the island. There is some leather, at least. It's certainly something we can work with. I think probably this would be a good place to stop for today, though. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time when we start really putting our turmoil domain to work. And we'll see you then.